Howdy folks, it's Alterna. Welcome back to Eternia SMP, the best place on the planet to play Minecraft 1.20. And I'm back in recording, which for you didn't really mean anything because I did a video saying I'm making my last video until I update stuff, and I updated stuff and it went smooth for the most part. I do have a lot I want to talk about, so this will be a yip-yapping video. Those of you who came over from Flight Sim, I talked about my updates relating to Flight Sim over there. In this video, I'm going to talk about my updates relating to Minecraft over here, so feel free and go to the Flight Sim video where I also yip-yapped about similar stuff, and back and forth. Because I might have said something interesting over there that I didn't say here and vice versa. So anyway, I'm out of breath. Why? Because I was moving my rudder pedals for my Flight Sim stuff around. We're going to wander around a little bit, and then we're going to do something today. I'm going to show you a little bit of my farm. I was going to wait until I had my farm completely done with the project I'm on, but I might actually show you early. We'll see. Or I might totally forget. So, what did I do? Well, I updated to Windows 11 because support for Windows XP. What year is this? Support for Windows 10 was ending. And that means if there are like any security issues and all these threats, they're not going to be patched or updated. So those bad guys know that people don't always update, so they're going to start writing stuff for older versions of Windows that aren't supported, like Windows 10, and they'll get you because you're not going to have any updates or anything to secure that stuff. So that's why if you haven't updated to Windows 11, you probably should. As far as Windows 11 on my computer, which was made around fall of 2018, so my computer is exactly 7 years old, which, by the way, is the longest I've ever owned a computer. My previous record was 6 years old. My wife's record is like 2 or 3, and then she just breaks them. So she gets new computers all the time. But for me, this is the longest I've ever owned a computer, and it runs beautifully. Until I updated to Windows 11. So I do have a 2080, which at the time was the greatest thing. I think you have 64 gigs of RAM, which at the time was the greatest thing. I have an i8700K or something, which at the time was the greatest thing. But it updated to Windows 11, and it's a little clunky. It's okay enough that I really don't care, but I do notice some clunky performance things with Windows 11 overall. But that's fine, it's whatever. It's just my computer had never shown its age in 7 years, and now it's slightly showing its age, just a little bit. Oh well, whatever. What's more important though, how are Minecraft and Flight Sim doing? Well, right away, I'll say ever since I updated to Windows 11, Flight Sim is better than it ever was. I'm talking about Flight Sim 2020. There's a Flight Sim 2024, which my computer is too old to run the way I would want to run it, so I'm sticking with Flight Sim 2020. And it runs, Windows 11 runs Flight Sim 2020 so well. I just am so happy with it. So that's good. Minecraft, well, I don't know how it's looking for you. So if I do my frame rates, they're pegged at 60 right now while I record, which is really confusing to me. Why is it working now? I went on this whole rant in my Flight Sim video about how Minecraft is terrible in Windows 11, but now it's working. Anyway, I did a test video that I didn't keep, obviously, and my frame rates were like in the 30s and 40s while I was recording, and without recording they were barely in the 50s. Now it's pegged at 60 again. So it's pegged at 60 because that's my monitor resolution, but if I like look at the real frame rate, it used to be like in the hundreds. And then it updated to Windows 11 and it was barely hitting 50. But now it's fine. Okay, so those of you who are watching the Flight Sim video about me complaining about how Minecraft is barely playable, I wasn't lying. It just really wasn't working very well. And now it's working great. I haven't been in this house in ages. Security system, there you are. So why is it working so well? I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm very glad this is working. This is so buttery smooth. What a great surprise. Because I was like going to rage quit Minecraft because I was getting such low frames. It was so unusable. And it was even worse when I was recording. And now it's super awesome. Like, this is better on Windows 11 than it was on Windows 10. What? Something must have updated or optimized or did something between my test video and this video, because this is crazy how good this is working. Okay, well, that's very strange, because I went on a long rant in Flight Sim about how awful Minecraft was now. There's a bathtub up here, that's why it's sunken down. So, yeah. Okay, well, I am very happy. Okay, well, anyway, so talked about Windows 11, talked about this game and Flight Sim. Now let me talk about the video editor, because that is the coolest part, because obviously that's what I'm using right now to bring this video to you. So the recording is fine, updated my recording software, blah, 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 blah. But the video editor, what I was using before was Sony Vegas Movie Studio 15, which was the newest of that software. But then I had used all the versions before that, blah, 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 blah. I know it very well. I thought it was easy to use, whatever. But now that I updated to Magic's Video Deluxe 2016 Premium or whatever it's called, oh my gosh. Movie Studio is such a pain in the butt, and it was so difficult, and I never realized how difficult it was until I started using the new stuff. And I'm standing here because we walked all the way through there, all the way to the mountain, came all the way back through the houses. I'm going to take a selfie while I'm out here because I can. So yeah, using the new software is insane. It is so insanely easy. I cannot believe it. So, for example, what are some examples I can show you? Well, for example, the very top, you see how I have that tiny black bar all the time? That's because I cannot record in full screen, because if anything happens on my PC or another window gets attention, it corrupts my entire video. So it's almost full screen, but I have that black bar on top. So that I did have a preset for in Movie Studio, and once I made my preset, it was fine. But every time I'd have to set up track motion and do my preset and blah, 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 de blah, de blah. And now I just have a pre-made black thing, and I just click on it and boom. But to make it, my point is to make that black bar in this, you just drag a black color onto your screen, shrink it to the size you want, and drag it up there, and that's it. No motion, no keyframe, nothing. You just drag and drop whatever you want, wherever you want it, and it goes there, and it stays there. It's crazy. Of course, you can keyframe and animate manually, but why would you do that when there are so many animations built in? You just click an animation, and it does it. Like, if I want to move this text across the screen, and yes, feel free to sing that song. You know what it is. I just drag it there and say, move it, and it moves it. I could keyframe it, but I don't have to keyframe it. It just moves. It just moves. So easy. Before, when I would do text like this text you see on the screen, in Movie Studio, if I want to put in the bottom, you could go in and do position and put move to bottom and drag it a little bit, but it's clumsy, and then use numbers to fine tune it. What do you do here? If I want to move it to the bottom like this, I just dragged it to the bottom and let go. That's it. You can resize, you can format, you can justify just by dragging it. It's very WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So if you want it somewhere, just put it there. And it took me a long time to forget what I knew so I could figure that out. I'm like, how do I put text on the screen? There's not even instructions because it's so easy. You just drag the text on the screen and move it. That's it. Of course, I have my presets now for things that I write over and over, so I don't have to rewrite them. But it's just so easy. What else did I learn that's super easy with the new software? Everything. Oh, and it does proxy files with Movie Studio. If I wanted to edit 4K video, like for my piano and harpsichord videos, I would have to dumb down the preview video so much it was pixelated I could barely see what I was doing. But here it creates proxy files, so it's still crisp and clear like 4K, but it's not 4K. And then you can edit. Like, you can see your transitions, you can see your animations as it's editing, and not just like get one frame every couple seconds like in Movie Studio. It is crazy. This new software is insane. What other things do I do? Volume control is interesting. I'm actually doing that the old way. I'm putting in a volume envelope and just using keyframing to move my volume up and down for flight sim. It doesn't apply to Minecraft. For Minecraft, I actually use a mixer, and all you do is you just slide the mixer where you want it, like a mixing board, and then leave it. It'll also keyframe that too if you want to. But in my flight sim, though, I do some pretty sophisticated audio adjustments pretty much constantly. So I do need to. I was thinking about this house the other day. So I do need to keyframe that, but that's fine. It's actually easier because it's a bright green line and I can see it better. I want to go down there and play in the neighborhood. If I go that way, I'll get stuck. So it's all so much easier. What else do I do? Well, my editing isn't that complicated, really. But there were some things I had to figure out. Like I do some things that people don't basically do. So I did have to hello. I did have to, isn't there like a basement down here? I guess not. I do have to I do definitely learn to do some things. So anyway, yeah, but anyway, in general, it's just so much easier, so much smoother, so much faster. Rendering, oh my gosh, I used to think it was so fast when I could render an hour-long video would take like hour and a half to render. I thought that was impressive. But this hour-and-a-half video in 4K takes like 45 minutes. It's insane. I can't believe it. It's just so cool. Everything about it is so cool. Yeah, is this house meant to go in? It is. Because he went up over there under the bridge. See? So yeah, it's just, everything is so cool. I'm so glad I was forced to update. Now, yes, I know technically with Windows 11 I could have kept my movie studio software, but the way I use it, people all over the forums were saying, what a cozy bathroom. Well, they weren't saying what a cozy bathroom, but people on the forum, hi, how's it going? Have me some toilet paper, here you go. People on the forums were saying the movie studio under Windows 11 was so buggy that it's just worth it to update and learn the new software. And I did, and I can't be happier. And on the forums, when I was looking for help with stuff or just reading things, everyone's like, when I had this, I used to do this. Why can't I do that anymore? It's so much trouble to learn something new. And people were saying, no, it's worth it. Just take a couple minutes and learn the new stuff. It's worth it. And I did, and it's worth it. Oh my gosh. All the stuff I used to do that would take forever. Clicks of a button, piece of cake. Something else that's super cool, oh, I don't have a thing there, is you can track things. So let's say, for example, let me go somewhere up here nice. Okay, let's say I was like, okay, everybody. Yeah, it's incredible. And if I want to do masking, like let's say I want to have the game on one side of my screen and then bring my map over, like let's say I'm doing something here and it's moving, and then I also want to show you on the map. So separately I record myself doing something on the map. I can put them together and then side by side, one in front of the other. Oh my gosh, masking is so easy. You don't have to do any keyframing. It basically does all the keyframing behind the scenes for you. It's just crazy. It's wild. And I know the stuff I'm talking about has been able to be done for a long time now. But I started so old school, like with Nero back in the early 2000s. And then moved on to other things back when you had to do everything yourself manually. And I'm just used to it. So every time I'd update software, I'll just figure out how to do it manually with the new software. Well, now I'm forced to let the plugins do their job. And oh my gosh. So one thing I was going to do is I was going to like learn all these things and make a super cheesy video, edit it like it was 1994, do all these like weird things. But I really don't have a need to. So, sorry, heart palpitations. Oh my goodness, hang on. Well, there was a fun transition for you, I guess. I'll do that. But I'm not going to take time to like do cheesy stuff. But you can do cheesy stuff all you want. But I'm not going to. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I didn't even show you the forum, did I? I'm going to make you wait. So that means you have to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when the forum is going to show up. I still have some work to do on it before I show it to you all. But anyway, I just want to give you a very quick video and update on how I survived updating to Windows 11 and I survived learning new software. And there you go. Say hi, everybody. That's it. It's not a totally pointless video, But hopefully you enjoyed what I had to say. Maybe learn something yourself, and I'll see you next time.